right, let's break down this Wildcats 85-80 win over TCU to advance to the 20th Sweet 16 in program history. I'm David Kelly, joined as always by Steve Rivera, longtime Wildcat beat writer now with All Sports Tucson. And Steve, W-O-W, wow, what a finish that was for the Wildcats to move on to the next round.
No question. I think that people weren't expecting this in terms of getting to the next round, right? Late in the game when all hopes were lost. But Tommy Lloyd said he believed in these guys and he believed that Matherin would come through. And guess what? Matherin came through. So did Coloco. Wow, I was right.
I mean, those two guys combined to score 58 points. Early, it was the Christian Coloco show in that first half. He was essentially the only one that could put the ball in the basket. TCU came out very physical. I mean, they took it to this team, and I wasn't sure if Arizona was going to be able to answer that physicalness.
It's the team or type of style that Arizona has fits with. They have fits with for years, not just this year. So it was a perfect antidote for Arizona, but Arizona found a way. Coloco saved them in the first half. Matherin saved them in the second half.
What do you think the energy, I mean, obviously Kirk Creasy didn't have a great numbers game, but just the energy of him being out there, the resilience he showed to keep shooting the ball when those first 4 or 5 shots looked really ugly.
He was 1 for 10, I think it was. but the team flowed better for whatever reason. And we've said that. I've said this. With Kyer, the team is just as good, but the flow is different with Kerr. It gives them that energy you're talking about. It helped them. They made that run that they needed to get back in the game, and then the dunk kind of made them 54-52, I think it was, with 13 minutes left, and it kind of played even the rest of the way.
That dunk by Benedict Matherin, man, did that bring the house alive.
I tweeted, I can't remember a bigger dunk, maybe Derek Williams against Duke back in the day, Richard Jefferson against Illinois in 2001. But wow, again, wow, right?
And then you get to the overtime period, and I want to point out some guys on that other team. I thought, that Eddie Lampkin Jr. was a beast in the middle. Boy, did he was the guy that got dunked on, and sometimes you wonder how a guy is going to answer, and boy, did he answer to put his team in a place where they had a chance to win this ball game.
Here was this big team that Arizona has, right? They couldn't get rebounds. They couldn't get, but Lampkin could. It was unbelievable how they stayed in the game with second shots. I don't know how many points they had with second shots, but they had about, I think, more than 20. And their guard, Miles, fantastic guard. TCU could have easily won this game. We know that. Well,
and let's talk about, do you think that was a foul out at midcourt?
It's hard to say. I think it's almost a non-call, and I'm not trying to be biased or anything. I think it was a non-call, and it was a non-call.
But that was the game. I mean, the game was physical. There were a lot of There were a lot of instances where there could have been calls and there weren't throughout that game.
What about a half second left and Terry would have won that game, right? He got that right just a second late.
I mean, that was absolutely unbelievable. I think the one thing, obviously, there are some concerns, like you mentioned there, the defensive rebounding at times. They gave up way too many second shots, so that's something that they're obviously going to have to shore up heading to San Diego to play a Houston team that, you can say what you want about Kelvin Sampson. A lot of people don't like him, but that guy just continues to put his team in a position to win late in March every single season.
If you remember, Kelvin Sampson was a fan favorite at McHale 25 years ago when he was at Washington State. People loved him. They won't let him Thursday. It's going to be fun.
Wildcats win it 85-80. They're on to the Sweet 16. Steve, appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, Dave. Always fun.
All right, stay with us. Continuing coverage here at KVOA.com, News 4 Tucson of your Arizona men's basketball team.